Hello again, I am Blunty, and I don't normally make videos like this. Well, I do make videos like this, sitting at my desk here in front of my shelves and with my blue and purple lights on and stuff. I don't normally make videos about this particular topic because I could give two entirely dry fucks about the Oscars. I consider them a ridiculous, self-congratulatory wank fest of just tedium, and I haven't engaged with them in any way in decades. I don't care who wins. I don't care about the speeches. I don't care about the Oscars. I don't care who hosts the Oscars, although this year apparently they chose, amongst a few others, Amy Schumer. How did she get that job? She is so desperately unfunny. I don't get how she keeps getting work, but Jared Leto keeps getting work somehow as well, so I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't like Jada Plinket-smith very much either. I think she's quite a terrible actor. She was catastrophically awful in Gotham, one of the most recent things I saw her in, which wasn't, I guess she was in the new Matrix movie as well, but at least she had a small part in that, and it was fairly tolerable because she didn't get a chance to do her overacting thing. And celebrity gossip is also not a thing I care about at all. People obsessed with celebrity gossip and you know, who's dating who and who's splitting up with who and who's having a kid with who and all that sort of stuff. I saw a study recently that demonstrated that people who do spend their lives, you know, obsessed with celebrity gossip and things like that are literally dumber people. Like it's a scientific study. Scientifically, if you're obsessed with celebrity bullshit, you are dumber. It's science. But all of that said, Oscars, Jada Plinket-smith, celebrity gossip, dumb people, it all came into a ball in my social media feed this afternoon as I was scrolling through it, sitting here in my chair feeling in a deep well of depression, as I have been for the last couple of weeks now. That's why I haven't been doing much as far as videos or any live streams or anything go. I feel garbage right now, and even forcing energy for this video is going to leave me feeling very bad by the end of it, but I do want to talk about it, so I am. So for those of you who missed it, now that I've got all the preamble out of the way, get to the point, Blunty. I never get to the point. Never get to the point straight away. Always ramble. So Chris Rock was presenting an award for, I think it was documentaries or something, and Chris Rock was doing his Chris Rock thing up on stage, you know, making jokes and things like that, and he made a reference to Jada Plinket-smith, how he was looking forward to seeing her in G.I. Jane 2, like the sequel to the original G.I. Jane movie, I guess. The crux of this joke is he was making fun of Jada Plinket-smith for having a bald head. Now, here's the thing. Jada Plinket-smith doesn't have a bald head through a stylistic choice. She has a medical condition, alopecia, something. There's a full name for it. And given the stigma behind baldness, especially for women in Hollywood, an entirely image-obsessed factory of vanity, for Jada Plinket-smith to be out there, bald head on show, owning it, trying to remove the stigma away from baldness in women and you know, and all this kind of stuff. As much as I don't like her as a performer, I do respect her sort of taking ownership of this, because it can be, you know, like many medical conditions that affect your appearance, can be very difficult to deal with, especially if you're an actor, a female actor in Hollywood, for crying out loud. And Will Smith and Jada Plinket-smith have had their own relationship issues, I suppose. Again, I don't really keep tabs on celebrity gossip. I only ran across it again today as I was going through people's reactions to this, and you know, Jada Plinket-smith wants to sleep with other people, and Will Smith doesn't want to sleep with other people, but they want to stay married, and I don't care. I just don't care. What I do care about is immediately after Chris Rock made that crack at the expense of someone else's medical condition and appearance, Will Smith, Jada Plinket-smith's husband, stormed up on stage, and I mean stormed up. He stomped up there like he was on a mission. And I suppose Chris Rock was going, "Oh, look out! Here we go. He's going to have some snappy comeback. He's going to make fun of me for making fun of his wife." No, didn't say a word. Slapped the absolute shit out of Chris Rock's face. And I'm honestly surprised it didn't clock him. But no, it seems like it was a slap from what I could see. And this image, by the way, you probably see this image. This will be a new meme. Probably already is. I haven't been to any meme sites today, but I bet you this is already trending as a meme. Probably making exactly the same kind of jokes and just recycling the same kind of jokes as the old Batman slapping Robin meme used to do, because it's basically the same format, really. But that, you know, so get used to seeing that image of Will Smith slapping the bitch right off of Chris Rock's face. Now, the reaction to this online has been, well, on my side, I think it's awesome. I mean, you have to say, you know, violence is never the answer, and there was probably a better non-physically violent way for Will to react to this, but sometimes you do get caught up in the moment, and when you're trying to stand up for someone who is dealing with pain, who is vulnerable, like, for example, his wife dealing with a medical condition and doing her best to own it and destigmatize it. And Will, I guess, decided that he just wasn't going to let that pass. So he stormed up on stage, slapped the shit out of Chris Rock, went back to his seat and proceeded to yell a couple of times across the shocked noises of the crowd, and Chris Rock trying to recover his ability to speak, to keep his wife's name out of his fucking mouth. And just the cold, dead fury in Will Smith's face on this one. There's a couple of different video clips going around. Some are censored by the main telecast, but there's some sort of foreign telecast ones that didn't censor it the same way and stuff like that. So if you go on the Twitter, you can see the clips in full or in part. I'm not going to put them in this video because I'm not sure if that's going to be a copyright kind of issue, even though it would be fair use because I'm making commentary about it and stuff. I'm not gonna roll the dice with YouTube. I'm tired of dealing with YouTube in general. So you want to see the clips, you can find them. You know, the stills are here, but that face. If that doesn't become a meme as well, I'd be surprised. But I am 100% on Will's side with this. And that's something else people have been reacting to online, because people have been accusing Will Smith of overreacting or not being able to take a joke. But I think Chris definitely crossed a line here. Making fun of somebody for being in a shitty movie, for example, like Halle Berry, when people made fun of her for being in Catwoman, one of the worst movies ever, in my opinion. Just horrible. But she took it on the chin. She was one of the only actors who ever turned up on stage at the Razzies, kind of like the anti-Oscars. They give away awards for the worst bits of Hollywood. But she turned up and she said, you know, thanks to so-and-so for putting me in this terrible, terrible movie and whatnot. And, you know, she owned it. So making fun of actors for their own performances and, you know, stuff they're responsible for, no problem. If you can't take a joke about that, maybe you shouldn't be in the public eye. But making fun of someone's medical condition, a medical condition they are trying very hard to deal with publicly and destigmatize, because again, baldness in women especially it carries a lot of stigma in or out of Hollywood. So that's the other thing. It wasn't just in private either, was it? If you're in the corner of in a pub or at a restaurant or something, and you're making fun of your mates and your mates' girlfriends and wives and whatever, you know, that's a different kettle of fish. What Chris Rock did was in a room full of thousands of his peers, for a start, and televised worldwide. So that reframes the entire issue up to a whole nother level. So yeah, I don't blame Will Smith at all for this one. I think Chris Rock absolutely deserved a slap in the face. Maybe not consequently broadcast to the world as well, but I am kind of glad it happened like that, because it gives us that opportunity to talk about this topic in more broad terms. There are things you make fun of people of that are okay. There are things you make fun of people of that are not okay. There are jokes which are okay to tell in certain situations. There are jokes that's that same joke in a separate situation, not funny at all. I've talked to first responders, paramedics, and I've never spoken to a fireman about this, but I've spoken to someone who knows a fireman about this. But there are jokes that these people tell, really, really dark, horrifying, brutal jokes about the kinds of violence and horrific things that happen in their day-to-day jobs that you couldn't tell on the stage of the Oscars. People would be horrified. But these people have to tell these jokes to each other just to keep themselves sane, to take the edge off the brutal stuff. Because if you don't deal with this stuff, and telling jokes is a good way to deal with stuff, but if you don't, it will crush you into a tiny little pebble of misery. This, what Chris Rock did, not the same thing. You just don't tell a joke like that in that situation. At the Oscars, live on stage, worldwide audience, amphitheater full of your peers. You don't mock someone for their medical condition. You just don't, Chris Rock. Get out of here. Thanks for watching. I'm Blunty. Thanks to the patrons. What do you think?